into the proceeding. Right? So kindly mute on your cameras so that I can understand what is going on and if you are able to follow me. At times, I will be asking questions and demanding interaction. You can use the chat box or you can unmute and also speak by raising your hand. That's basic essential rules that we are going to have. Are we good with that? Can I have some thumbs ups? Fantastic. I will repeat what I said. Kindly keep yourself on mute. Rule number one. Keep your cameras on if you're okay, if you've worn decent clothes, if the background is all right, if children are not running around and there is no news channel going on. Unmute yourself. I'm fine with it. We'll have interactive session where I'll be talking and I'll be asking. Feel free to raise your hand. I will ask you by your name. I can see your names there. Thank God there are no numbers but names here. So I can call out you by your name and you can answer or you can also write in the chat box. At any time during the session, if you have a query or you don't understand something, please write in the chat box or unmute and tell, can you please repeat? I would love to do it. As a teacher, it is my joy to teach again and again and again. So feel free because you are not the only one who might not have understood. There are 5 other friends of yours, right? So don't hesitate to ask questions today. You are not teachers today, you're babies, my babies. So wonderful morning. Thank you, Radhika ma'am, Siri sir, to give me another opportunity to meet this young and energetic group of teachers, educators who has done wonderful work last year. And some of you are new as well. So let's begin the journey. Today, the topic I'm going to be addressing in the first half of the day is extremely interesting. I know most of us have handled the school, most of us have done the needful in the past year. We are already good at it, isn't it? We already have been with children for a year and tried to work with them. Some of us must have recorded videos, made PPTs, and done our classes. Am I right? Can I have some thumbs up or hands up? Good. Did you use Zoom platform for all these tasks? Yes, good. So you know that there are a lot of advantages that we have on different platforms. I'm not going to get onto that. I'm going to focus on your session, what you did during the session, and what more can you do during the session. Now, the first question before I go ahead, how many of you are still not happy or still not convinced that we should do online class? You can unmute and answer or raise your hand and I will call out your name. Let's make it interactive. How many of you still feel that online class is not good for child? It's going to harm the child. Okay, so most of us are convinced. I don't see anybody unmuting or raising hand. Did you feel that you could? Yes, ma'am. I could see one hand going up. Surekha, ma'am, kindly yeah, please say.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sureka. Actually, I feel okay. Online teaching is good. Children are getting habituated and all, but still I feel inconvenient because when children see each other learning, spelling out in the class, the oral drilling and all, they are very active. Seeing the other friends, they react, act, and do everything. But in the online class, they are dumb, sitting in front of the
So
camera,
true.
not
So
able
true.
to see their friends at all.
Mm-hmm,
They
mm-hmm.
can't orally loudly, they can't pronounce loudly the words, numbers, they can't tell drilling numbers. So
I
I feel
understand.
little
So,
bit
Surika ma'am, I completely get you. You are missing the pure interaction in the children in online class. I get
yes
it.
ma'am.
Anybody else with any other issue? Any other
Yes ma'am.
concerns?
Yes,
Yes,
mom.
please speak.
Yeah, mom. Very good
Swati
morning,
ma'am.
everyone. Yes, myself Swati. Mom, actually, what happened is like last year when we were taking the classes, so kids were very, interactive and everything. But what happened is when we are asking, personally, what happens? The mothers are more, helping the child, so they are learning more
Yes,
than the
ma'am. Yes.
children. So,
How lovely is that? So we
so
didn't only do early childhood education, we
even we
also
are
did
making
adult
mothers also to
education.
educate. Yeah, so
Right.
that's
Thank you, Swati
happening.
ma'am. Thank you, Swati ma'am. I will
Yeah,
definitely
mom.
address both these issues Anybody else who felt that online class shouldn't have happened? Online class is not good. If last January 2020, I would have come to you and told you that you need to be in front of the child through the camera, and child is supposed to sit in front of the camera and look at the screen for 2 hours, how many of you would have agreed with me? Absolutely, thumbs down. You're so right. Thumbs down. Honestly, I would have not allowed. I remember a person coming to me for a curriculum, and I told him very specifically, if I'm making a curriculum, no screen time in January 2020. And March 2020 comes, and I upgraded, and I learned, and I investigated, I researched, and I found that right now, the only way that I can reach out to my little babies at home is online. Being a teacher, being an educator, my job is not to create my stubborn thinking, what is good and what is not good. My approach should be what is best for the child in the given circumstances. And that is why I started looking at the gentleman. Who is this? Because for me, child is the focus and in focus all the time. Can anybody guess who is this gentleman whose advice I followed? Has anybody met this gentleman or heard about him? Okay. I request again to keep yourself on mute so that we don't disturb others. Thank you, really. The name of this gentleman, before I tell his name, let me tell about his profession. He is a neuroscientist who is working specifically in the field of education. He is investigating about children, neuroscience. Neuroscience means how the brain works, how the brain functions of little children. What are the I request the organizers to put everybody on mute, please. Thank you. This particular doctor was researching about how children learn, how children can learn more. And he studied that we need to work with children in a manner that it impacts them the most by stimulating their brain. The meaning of stimulation of brain is very simple. Our brain has got lots of zones within it, right? Every zone gets stimulated. Now, I'm sure some of you have done teachers training, and at that time you were told that child's attention span is very, very small. Am I right? They have a very short attention span. So your lesson plan should be short. Right. At the same time, I request Shivani ma'am to go on mute, please. Michael Posner, the cognitive neuroscientist, found sorry for that. Michael Posner decided that it is a time when pandemic came to re-announce WHO rules. And he told WHO that yes, screen time is not healthy for children if the movement of the screen is very fast, the illusions are very quick. But if the healthy screen time is given, where 1 or 2 people are talking and they are not moving like this and not animated like this, it's okay for the child to look at the screen. And that is why we as a teacher do not need to feel guilty at all that because of us, children have screen time. Rather, pat on your back that you could reach out to children in the most difficult time when parents didn't know what to do with them. You could at least give them quality education in your given circumstances. So first thing, we are convinced and we all practiced it, not only preached it, that let us address children in their home and continue their education. Now let's begin our journey and understand what more we can do to make our classroom effective. For that, my question to you is, who is a teacher? According to you, how do you define a teacher? Yes, Ifraji, how would you define a teacher?
A teacher who understands the child very well.
Very nice. Thank you. Go on mute again. Sri Lakshmi ji?
A teacher is a learner. Every day she has to
Beautiful.
learn herself.
Very well said. Anybody else would like to try?
A
Yes.
teacher is a mother away from home.
Very well said. Very well said, Sri Lakshmi ji. Wait for me to call out your name. I will definitely call out your name. Anybody else who would like to speak? Right. You definitely said and nailed it very well. That teacher is somebody who is passionate about children, who is a learner, who really wants to mold the child. For me, teacher is somebody who is spiritually charged adult. Now, this sounds very heavy. Let me break it down for you. Spiritually doesn't mean that you are doing chanting or you are saying your verses. I'm not talking about religion here. Don't get me wrong. Spiritual is a person who understands right from wrong. Spiritual is a person who will not harm anybody and be little selfless. Are we together on this? Can I get some thumbs up? Spiritually charged, adult. Now, what do I mean by adult? I know all of you are above 18. Only then you have become a teacher. Then why am I saying adult here? Adult is a person who thinks before they speak, who shows an expression thoughtfully. They don't react, they think and respond. If the child is misbehaving, you can't go into, what are you doing? You need to wait. Think why child is misbehaving. Think what are you going to do about that and help child in that manner. Teacher is somebody who is a spiritually charged adult who creates an environment, where learning happens. I actually want you to write it down in your book if you are carrying a book right now and a pen. Teacher is spiritually charged adult who creates an environment where learning takes place. Now you'll say, ma'am, this is very good. When I was in classroom, I could hang my charts, I could show them the teaching aid, I could show them everything. But now online, what do? I can completely agree with you. I know some of you have already created a background for your children at home with the charts and ABCD. Some of you have created resources for your children to make the classroom interesting. I am extremely proud of you.
Ma'am, once again repeat the sentence, ma'am.
Sure, I will do that. And one of you who has already written can even type in the chat box. Teacher is someone who is a spiritually charged adult who creates an environment where learning takes place. You don't have to force yourself to teach something. You create an environment which is so pleasant that child feels like looking at you and learning from you. Now that's the magic that you have to create. I know we are not magician. I know we are not a super women. Then how do we do it? With few ideas that I'm going to share with you. I'm sure some of you have already used them. Maybe it is repetition for you, but repetition is good. Reinforcement is good. Don't we repeat with children? So it's okay. I hope that I'm able to give you some new ideas as well. If you ever visit my institute at Hyderabad, on the walls of IPTA we have written, teacher who loves teaching, teach children to love learning. Don't try to teach a subject. Make subjects so interesting that children love to learn from you. And that's the magic that you need to create. Do not go after them if they cannot write something or read something. Rather make that particular concept so interesting in another manner. I'll give you an example here. A child is not enjoying math at all. and child tells you, you are able to understand that English is doing okay, EV is doing okay, but math is just not comfortable. Change your attitude. You know, that particular child, after the session, take a permission of a parent, give 10 to 15 minutes to that child, play with that child. How do you play with the child? You know, we have playing cards at home, or we have a dice, or we have certain objects. Shake them, show them to the child, and ask him to count with you. You can play a story of antics, or the ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. You're not teaching math here. You're doing something else, and the child is learning math here. Are you with me? Now, this is a teacher, according to me, especially early childhood years, that is 0 to 9 years. Let's move ahead and understand what is the basic of early childhood education. Why should we teaching early childhood education at all? Is there a handbook that we have, that read this handbook and you will know how to be the best teacher in the world? We don't have. You know, I'm from a medical profession, and we are given a handbook that if these are the symptoms, you do, these are the diagnostic tests, if this is the result, this is the medicine you will give. Some of you might be engineer or no engineer. They have a booklet that if this machine is spoiled, this is a troubleshooting, this is what you do, and it will get repaired. As a teacher, as a mother, do you have a booklet? When you delivered a baby, your gynecologist gave you a booklet that follow this and you'll be the perfect mother? They didn't give you any booklet. Go ask for the refund. Why there is no booklet to make you a perfect teacher or a perfect mother? The answer is right in front of you here. Because every child is different from each other. Every teacher, today we have 100 teachers in this group. Do you think all of you are just ditto? Even if you have gone through a same teacher's training, are you going to pick up the same points? That's exactly the reason there is no handbook which ideally can be followed by a teacher or a parent. We need to work on it and develop our own handbook, isn't it? Socio-emotional background that they are coming from, the house that they are coming from, the approaches of their parent, the way they are brought up, the disciplinary styles are different. The food they eat is different, the habits are different, the tradition and the culture they follow are different. So their mindset, their attitude, their perceptions are very different. Now, all these children are sitting in one class and you're teaching A for apple. Same thing. Is it possible for them to learn in the same way? So how do we go about it? We are going to learn about that today. Heredity. They pick up few things from mama, few things from papa, few things from grandmom, few things from this side of maternal grandfather. They are a mixed bag. Even two siblings are not same. Do you agree? Are you and your sibling ditto?
No.
You love
No.
biryani and your sibling loves ice cream.
Yeah.
Hello? Same set of parent, no doubt about that. How did this happen? Because you picked up different genes from your parents. You have your own unique attitude towards life. Friends, my today's session is mainly for you to internalize what I'm saying, seek within, understand where you can improve as a teacher. I'm sure that you are practicing at your best capacity in the given circumstances. What more can you do? How much more value can you add? Please start writing those points. Make your own Bible, your own note. Make a star what you want to research more about. Use Google Auntie to research that. Everybody knows Google Auntie? I call her auntie because by the time you type, how do you, she gives you 10 options. Multitasking she is. Only women can be multitasking. So she has to be a Google auntie. So please put a star what you want to research more. Make this session fruitful for you, what your management has invested in you, for you to upgrade you. Make the most of it. See, in 3 hours, I cannot give you the entire 9 months course of teachers training, but I can seed an idea within you. give you a little idea what you can do, and you can do your homework and become better than what you are today. Do you agree with me? Would you put that effort? Would you do that homework for me? Good children. Order of birth. Now, what do I mean by order of birth? Can somebody help me with that particular phrase? What do I mean by order of birth? Your birth was ordered. Ek idli lana, ek dosa lana, like that. Ek bacha lana.
First child, the second child, the level of pampering.
Perfect answer. Wonderful. Now, why is it so important? Psychology says, friends, that not only your heredity, not only the environment, not only your attitudes, not only your, the aptitudes are going to matter. The way you are born, that is your normal delivery or cesarean delivery or vacuum delivery or your forceps delivery, is going to have impact on your personality. Believe it or not. You are the eldest in the family or youngest in the family or in the middle, that will have impact on your personality. Sounds really far-fetched? I'll prove it to you. Some of you might have 2 children at home, your own. Think about this. This is a very general term I'm talking. Don't worry if you don't have, you're not married and don't have children. Think about your siblings. You have elder and you are the youngest, or you are the elder and you have the youngest. So think in the terms I'm talking about. Psychology says that the youngest one are normally very charming. They are go-getters. Whereas elder ones are easy-go-lucky, happy. They are laid back. They are the kinds who get 70 marks, 75 marks, and they are very proud to show, I got 75. Everybody got like that. Paper was like that. Whereas younger one gets 94 out of 100 and cries, I got 94. Have you felt that? Why does this happen?
Yes, ma'am.
The psychology says the younger ones understand competition. They are born with the idea that I will have to run the race to become more charming, to get the attention of my parent. And that's the attitude being developed. Whereas elder one got all the attention in the world, all the mistakes were done on him, all the pampering was given as a single child. So they are very content with themselves. And this is a truth. Yes, as we grow, we change. We make assimilation, adaptation in ourselves, and we change what we don't like in us. Isn't that true? Middle ones are the ones who are balanced, but at the same time, little confused. They can't make a very good decision quickly. They take time to think about things. This is order of birth. And finally, attitude. When I was a child, I have an elder brother. My mother was an educationist as well. She was a teacher of a language in a teachers training institute. So when I was very young, I was in class 3 or 4, I think, I wrote an essay. And my essay in first language got 23 out of 25. And that's uncalled for in first language in our times. I'm pretty ancient compared to you all. You all are young girls. I'm pretty old. Okay. So hamare time pe we used to not get marks like 95 and 96. If you get 80, you are like a topper. Okay. So 23 out of 25 was a big deal. So my teacher took out my paper and she actually read out my essay. And I was so proud. I was so happy. I was feeling so good. And it finished. And then she says, no wonder Sonal wrote essay like that, because her mother is a language teacher. I went home and threw a tantrum. Because of you, I don't get a credit. Because of you, you came to my exam. You taught me how to write essay, but because of you, this happened to me. And I was all drama. My elder brother was looking at me and watching me. He's 8 years elder to me. He was a very average child in the school. He was looking at me and doing all the drama, and he, towards the end, he said, stop it now. Stop your nautanki. Nobody ever, clapped for me in the class, but they ever do it. And my teacher says, because of your mother, I will proudly stand, look around, and then ask, anybody's mom is like that? Now, two children born in the same house, brought up by same set of parents, eating the same food, going in the same school, getting the same education, but such different attitudes. From the beginning, I was somebody who wanted to struggle and strive to be better, whereas he wanted to be someone who he is. And this is how children's attitude can be manipulated in the classroom. Now, I'm using the word manipulated. Don't take it negatively. Educational psychology says whatever you understand about the child, how can you use it in the class? Now you understand that there is a child who's always raising a hand for the answer. Or there's a child who is just sitting. Now use these both children to work at your best. On the online Zoom platform or any other platform, how do you utilize this scenario? So when nobody is answering, you demand from the child whom you know might try to answer without a fear of being wrong. That will stimulate eventually a child who is quiet, I promise. Eventually, you will have to breathe. I get a lot of students who tell me, ma'am, I failed as a teacher. Towards the end of the year also, there are two children who didn't speak, who didn't participate. I failed. I want to leave this profession. I failed. Did you really fail? You had 22 children in your class. With 20 children, if you could reach out, and two children you couldn't, did you fail or you passed? You passed with flying colors, according to me. Friends, we are teachers, but we are humans. We are not God. We don't have strings of children in our hand that we can operate them. What we need to do is put effort, try different styles of teaching to reach out to these babies. It works, it works. Maria Montessori says every child is like a bud. You know what is bud? B-U-D. Bud. Anybody?
Before
Not
the
the bud,
flower, the bud. Before the flower, it is the bud.
absolutely, absolutely. Have you seen the bud? Anybody who has seen the bud? Yes. So you want the bud to become a flower for sure, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Just 1 second. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. So Radhika ma'am just called and she's creating one more link because there are few more teachers who need to attend. So I'm going to log out. Let us all log out. Listen carefully. She's sending one more link to you and log into that. Is that fine?
Okay.
Thank you. Let's join after the break.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, all teachers. Sorry for the inconvenience. Actually, we asked for the confirmation of the teachers, almost a week back. And we got only 70 confirmation. That is the reason we couldn't go for more number. And as you all started joining in, and we couldn't admit more than 100. And that is the reason we have to interrupt the session and create again a YouTube link and share it with all of you. So I think we'll start the session in 2-3 minutes. And those who have not joined, please join it. If you're not able to join, please connect with the YouTube. Thank you.
Welcome to Slack, the channel-based podcast. Let's take a quick tour, starting with the site.
వేదిక్ మ్యాథ్స్ అథర్వణ వేద సమవేద ఏదేదో విద్యలు చెప్తున్నాడు. రీల్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు 100 మంది.
Welcome back after the break. We shall start the session now. Sonal ma'am. Hello again. Hope you all had a nice break. Nature's call, little water, jumping around, and all set again. Right? Shall we begin our journey again? Right. So we were talking about every child has got unique attitude towards learning, towards the things that they experience, and that is how their behavior is made. As a teacher of pre-primary, what are we going to expect from each child is our mindset. Now, till now, whatever I said sounds very good, very nice, but in reality, what is the scenario? Let's check it up. In real classroom scenario, what we find is highly stimulated brain. What I mean by highly stimulated brain, the brain which has got a lot of sensories. He has watched a cartoon, he has watched a YouTube for rhymes, he has already seen a movie with parent or a sibling, and he is super active. Now to pin him down in front of the camera to listen to the teacher, is it practically possible? Second, issues with interaction. Children do not understand the idea of muting, unmuting very soon. That discipline has to be developed in them. We need to teach them how to interact. Like one of the ma'am said earlier, that in earlier my class, all children used to be, speaking spell bee. They used to be reciting numbers, and they used to be together and they would learn from each other. I completely agree with her. The third issue that we have is every child is made to feel prince or princess. They are the best. Now, in that situation, when you tell that you have done something wrong or you don't ask them, they feel hurt. Teacher doesn't like me, so I don't like this teacher. A practical problem, right? Now, we as a teacher are the ones who are going to make them feel one among the all. And how are we going to help them in that? Hyper parenting, helicopter parenting. I hope you have watched a movie called, Ela Helicopter with Kajol. Watch it. It's a nice movie. Okay. Helicopter parenting. Means you are kind of over the top of the child and watching everything that child is doing. Have you eaten food? Have you gone to bathroom? Have you done your homework? Have you drank water? Hello, back off. If somebody is watching you like that, would you like it? If Sandhya ma'am is making tea and I go and watch her like that, she will not be able to make tea properly. Tea which she makes every damn day. But today, because somebody is watching her, she won't like it. Similarly, the parents are watching us. They are listening to us. So our attitude changes towards them and they actually answer instead of child, or they do homework of children. I've heard from so many teachers that ma'am, worksheets are done by parents. And I'm like, seriously? But that's a fact. They want their child to be the best. They don't understand that they are making their children actually handicapped by doing all this. Do you agree with me?
Yes, mom.
Commercialization of institutions. So what has happened is children are not in the focus. We are just looking at khatam karo, syllabus, finish, and we are running. We are not seeing what child has learned, what child has not learned. We are not checking on a personal growth. And that is where the issues might come. Lack of attention span in the child, more media interaction, lack of social interaction, maybe one of the reason that child is not able to listen or doesn't feel like listening. Any other reason you can add in this list. Now,
Learning gaps also, mom.
Pardon?
Learning gap also will be there. I mean, the concepts what they are missing in the junior class to senior class.
Learning gap. Oh yes. Totally. In our limited time and in our limited resources, whatever we are providing, out of that, whatever they are hearing and picking up, we are not sure about how much has gone instilled in it. So how are we going to cope up with this? How are we going to do it? So here is a small quiz for you before we go ahead, an activity for you. Which of this picture depicts freedom to you? 1, 2, or 3. Write it down in your book. Write it down in your book. I don't want, keep your answer secret. It's a quiz, okay? So you're going to get the answer soon. And then you can compare your answer. Look at the picture number 1, picture number 2, picture number 3. According to you, which one depicts freedom and why? Write in one simple line. I don't want a paragraph, just one line. Because this picture number 1, because, picture number 2, because, whatever you think. Okay. I hope everybody is done with it. Can I have thumbs up? Perfect. So I'm going ahead and the answer to the quiz I will give after one more slide. So let's look at what is the next slide. What do you think? Why should we have our pre-primary education at all? What are we trying to do in pre-primary? Why should pre-primary education be given to children? When I was young, there was not much ho-ha about pre-primary. Why now pre-primary is so important? Any idea?
Ma'am, yes, the basic reason is that we are now into nuclear families. That is one of the major reasons why I feel that pre-primary education is important.
Superb. Anybody else? Afreen, you want to say something?
Because the times are not like the olden times. It's now different and it is competitive.
Right. So society has changed. Expectations have changed. Correct, Annie ma'am? Anybody else? So you are telling me why pre-primary education is required. Now let me change the question that what are we expected to do in our pre-primary classes?
They learn experimentally on childhood onwards.
Experiential learning. Wonderful. Very well said. Anything else? Very good, Deepika ma'am.
They habituated good things from 2 years onwards.
So they develop good habits. Yeah, good habits. The neuroscience says till the age of 6, most of the habits are formed. Because 90% of brain development finishes by 6 years. Can you believe it? So
Yes.
pre-primary years become important. Again, I repeat my question. What do you exactly achieve or want to achieve in pre-primary education? What are the objectives of pre-primary education?
Communicating.
Communication. Well said. Though I'm not able to get your name, I'm sure your
Swati.
name is. Yeah, so you need to change your name right away so
Yeah.
that I can call you with the right name. Swati ma'am, that's right. Anybody else?
They learn
They want
community
freedom.
everything.
Sandhya ma'am. Sandhya ma'am.
They want freedom, ma'am.
They want freedom from mummy papa's dadagiri. So yes, I completely agree. They also understand the meaning of freedom.
And sharing also, ma'am.
They learn
They learn
sharing.
sharing.
They
Yes.
learn sharing. Yes, Geeta ma'am, they learn sharing. Very good. Deepika ma'am, you wanted to add something.
Yeah, they learn each and everything very fastly.
They can learn the values also, means how to respect the
Moral
teachers.
values,
Yes.
traditional values.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
Very, very good. Yes. Deepika ma'am, you said it right. They learn to learn.
It helps in child's emotional.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good, Mamta ma'am. They also learn emotionally to be matured. At home, they are just pampered, given too much attention, or neglected. Either of the case. Here they are balanced. They learn how to be balanced. So let's look at the objectives in early childhood education that we need to drive in to our curriculum. The number one is spice development. Number two is readiness. Now, readiness, what I mean by readiness is very, very simple. Getting them ready to read, getting them ready to write, getting them ready to count. Read, write, and count. Now, I'm not saying teaching A to Z, teaching 1 to 100, asking them to read. No, I'm saying getting them ready. Pre-primary years are the years of experiential learning, as you people rightly said. Stimulate their sensorial and teach them through that experience and get them ready to be interested in the subject and learn more and hungry for knowledge. That is readiness. The next is self-esteem. Now, luckily, our children today have amazing self-esteem, but yet we need to teach them. Some of children don't have it. They are shy, they are timid. Doesn't mean they don't have self-esteem or confidence. That means that they are not ready to speak with us yet. I'll give you my own example. I failed my UKG. I'm not lying. I have my report card. I was not sent to grade 1 because I was not speaking. Can you believe that? I was not speaking in UKG and I failed. And today I am a speaker because my parents and my teacher waited on me, allowed me my own time, being an introvert child, to grow on my own. If that bud, I was talking about the bud when we stopped the session previously, you know, that bud is forcibly open, then it's not a flower. Every bud takes its own time to bloom, and we need to wait on to that. As a teacher, as a parent, we need to learn to wait onto the child. Put our effort. Don't give up on the child. Never say, "Arrah, useless." I want you to write in your book, useless. USELESS. And in between use and less, I want you to put that, that sign. I don't know what you call that sign. Suppose you are writing a sentence.
Hyphen.
Thank you so much, Swati ma'am. You put a, not hyphen, that triangle type of thing down where you have forgotten something. So you write extra, like you want to write a sentence, it is a book, and you write it a book. So is missing.
That is called as caret.
Apostrophe.
Caret symbol.
Caret symbol.
No.
Apostrophe, I think so. Apostrophe.
Not apostrophe. Down you do this mark.
We call it
It's a
caret.
caret, ma'am.
Leave it. I mean, I'm not sure, so I'm not commenting. You got what I want. Okay, so between use and less, put that sign and write over there ED on top. ED. Child is never useless. Child is used less. As a parent and a teacher, have you given him opportunity to prove himself or herself? Have you given them chance to be responsible, to do the task? How can you call anybody that? And that is building their self-esteem. Life skills, as some of you rightly said, now children don't know what is sharing. You know, when I grew up, we had 6 cousins in a house, 1 doll or 1 ball. And we used to be pulling each other's hair initially. Then we learned no faida. We'll all get jhapats. Instead of that, today you play, tomorrow I will play. Am I right? We learn sharing hard way. Today, how children learn sharing? By reading a book. Pegga Pig learns to share. Because at home, 2 children and 10 dolls, 10 cars, 10 balls. Am I right? They have no idea about sharing. They need to learn life skills at school. Especially now, in online program, when parents are also working from home, frustrations levels are high, fatigue is high, everybody is on everybody's face. You don't know where to release your energies. Children are the ones who are suffering. They don't get to run around the house, jump around the house. They are told, hey, sit at one place. Hey, don't talk too much. Hey, don't do this. I mean, seriously, would you like that environment? So we as teachers need to develop that life skills by different activities. How do we do it? I'm going to talk about it. They are future foundation. This is 21st century. This is 21st century. And we do have certain skills that we need to develop in 21st century. Can somebody name those skills to me? Do you have an idea which are 21st century skills?
Cognitive skills, ma'am.
Cognitive skills are definitely necessary. That is that's basic. Our brain needs cognitive skill. You can Google about it and answer. Be resourceful. Any ma'am?
Analytical skills.
Analytical skills, very good. I'm asking specific 21st century skills that every child needs to have to match up with the competition, with the scenario in the fast moving global citizen of the country, of the world skills. Anybody who could Google and get the answer?
Technical skills.
Technical, yes. Technology.
Is that what Google is saying?
No.
Communication, collaboration.
That's right.
Creativity.
Swati ma'am, can you be louder?
Technology. Need to know about technology, ma'am.
Swati ma'am is speaking. Can we just hold on? Yes, ma'am.
Collaboration, creativity, communication, critical thinking.
Right. There are 4 C's that Google will give you. I request everybody to kindly mute themselves. Thank you. There are 4 that Google will give you: critical thinking, communication skill, collaboration, and creativity. What we need to work is also on character building of the child. And there comes your moral, traditional values. Especially in India, the system that we have is very rich. And we need to give it to our children. These are 21st century skills. I want you to remember these 5 C's. We need to incorporate that in our given lesson plan. It's really important for us to work on that. Okay, so sounds all tall, benchmarks are set, objectives are there. Now, actually, what is to be done? How to teach in the classroom? That brings to second gentleman of the day. I'm picking all oldies today. So who is this guy in my chat box? Who is this gentleman? Amitabh Bachchan? Nagarjuna? My inbox would have been filled if that was that picture. He is the hero of child psychology. He is the hero who has given the world an idea how your lesson can be successful. As a teacher, he is your role model. His name is Albert Bandura. Albert Bandura. You can Google about him and see what does he say in detail. Now, why am I saying he's our hero as a teacher? He said, if you want children to learn in the class, in your classroom, these are the 4 elements that you need to keep in mind. If you keep in mind these 4 elements, children will learn like that. Now that's magical, isn't it? If I give you this magic mantra and you apply in your lesson plan, every time you will deliver the content to your child. Who wants to learn the magic mantra? I'm only going to give to Sabita ma'am, Deepika ma'am, Swati ma'am. So for that, if I want to give magic mantra, you need to say some chant. You need to say something magical to me to make me say it. What do I get? What do I get? Come on, come on, come on, try me.
Your smile is too good, mom.
Oh, I want a little more than that. I want you to say, I love you, Sonal ma'am.
Yeah, I love
On
you.
the go
Sonal
of 3.
ma'am.
1, 2, 3.
I love you, Sonal ma'am.
Everybody, I'm only going to tell them to
love you,
end
Sonal.
sound.
I love you, Sonal.
Okay, on the count of 3.
Love you,
On count of
ma'am.
3. Hold on, hold on, hold on. On count of 3. 1. Unmute yourself, everybody, without the sound. No sound to be made. 1, 2, 3.
We love you,
Love you,
Sonal ma'am.
Sonal ma'am.
Okay, mute yourself again. The mantra that he gave is very, very interesting. The first thing that you do with children is grab their attention. It's called social learning theory. Grab their attention. Now, how did I grab your attention? By putting up a quiz and making a contest out of it. Second, retention. Whatever you are learning, can you make it retain in the child's brain? Now you will understand why your textbooks given to you by Iris Flores are the way they are. You know, there are repetition. You teach letter A, but that's it. Or do you make them repeat it in different manner? Then you make them write it number of times with lot of activities, right, Afreen ma'am? Very true. Very, very true. Retention. After retention, you gave them a chance to reproduce. Reproduction. Attention, retention, and reproduction. Finally, motivation. Do they feel like coming to the class again? Have you, as a teacher, made a mark onto them that they have done something the day they have gone into, Mama, I will teach you a poem, okay? The poem is very interesting. It says, hey, good morning, oh, good morning. What a lovely day. Mommy and Daddy, I love you. Come to me when I call you. Mommy and Daddy, I love you. Give me a kiss when I ask you. Give me a kiss when I ask you. Now you have taught this number of times. And if child is singing to a parent, how are parent going to react? Oh, my baby. How is child going to feel? My teacher is so good. Because of her, I got this huggy. And they are going to be motivated to come to you again. If every concept can be divided into these 4 slots, I promise you that learning will take place. And isn't that our agenda of the whole schooling purpose? Right? So I want you to remember these 4 steps: attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. This is social learning theory by Albert Bandura. So the reason I made that quiz was freedom is in your choice. There is no correct answer, 1, 2, or 3. The justification is important. I'm sure some of you say that the way it was jumping with the umbrella, that called freedom. Or somebody said that beautiful scenery is a freedom of nature. You know, it's your justification. It's your definition. I'm nobody to comment on it. But my idea was to capture your attention by making it competitive, right? So let's move ahead and understand how we are going to make learning in the classroom, especially virtual classroom, very, very important. Why do you think?
Sorry to interrupt you at this time. I did not get the first person whom you mentioned. By the time you said the name, it was a little disturbing.
Michael Posner. Michael Posner, Posner. He is a cognitive neuroscientist who said that if you give healthy screen time, it is good for children's brain development.
Okay.
Thank you for asking, Annie ma'am. I'm sure a lot of them had missed and didn't ask.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're welcome. So let's look at, can somebody tell me what are the advantages in learning through virtual classes for a teacher? For a teacher, what are the advantages of virtual classroom?
We have become tech savvy, ma'am, when compared to earlier years.
Mwah! Super duper. Next, Sabita ma'am. After Sabita ma'am, anybody else? Be very honest, yeah.
We have become much more expressive.
We have become much more expressive in this small frame. We are making most of our hand, our face, our shoulders, right? Very well said, ma'am. Tulsi ma'am.
Explored ourselves and we became confident.
Explored more and upgraded ourselves. Very good. Ranjita ma'am, you want to say something?
Yes, we explored more and now we became confident. We got our confidence.
Awesome. Now we don't have inhibitions. My God, that father is watching. Oh, that mother is watching. She's a doctor. What will she tell about my English? All that is kept at
Yes,
rest. They might speak wonderful English, and so you should, but they don't know how to deal with the children and teach the concept. That you know. You have a handbook manual how to teach a concept, after which activity to do. So you have a trump card in your hand. You know, the most important thing that you have an advantage right now is that, so what if child cannot come to the school? This is closest face to face that you can get with the child now. You are going to child's house now. So what if situation is bad? Traveling is not allowed. You are saving the time. You're giving them healthy screen time. You have channelized the energy here. And in that 1 hour, you are giving worth of 3 hours.
So we are doing more of planning now.
You are better planned.
Better planned.
Yes, absolutely. This is a golden period of life. You cannot let them be alone. They need to be addressed. Their brain needs stimulation, which a parent cannot do. We need to count our blessing that we have these facilities, you know, with our limited resource. So many of us started with a phone on a Zoom link. Then we found a tablet, then neighbor's laptop. And we are still managing with our resources at home, with limited stuff. And that's awesome. A pat on the back on every Indian teacher where government is not able to support. But we have found our support system just to reach out those children. And that's amazing for us. Now let's again look at what are we going to be looking at now is how do we make it impactful for our children? Okay. So what are the stakeholders in this? Who are the stakeholders in this virtual learning? Definitely children, school management, teachers, the curriculum that you have now, technology, and parents. Without any of these 6 factors, will your classroom work? If school management is not providing Zoom link and the material and the worksheets, would you be able to function?
No.
Without the teacher, classroom will function. Without children, classroom will function. If parent doesn't have a gadget, doesn't have a Wi-Fi, doesn't have a charged mobile, will the classroom function?
No.
So technology, parent, all these 6 parameters are interconnected. And in my virtual school, I need to respect each one of these factors. To make it happen successfully, we have created a harmonious spectrum. Now parents are co-learners and co-educators. You can actually give parents also tasks to do while you are teaching, to keep them occupied if they are interfering. Ma'am, A for apple also, no, ma'am? Ma'am, acrobat also, no, ma'am? I know I'm going to say, darling, you can't say that to parent. You have to tolerate it, isn't it? So what you do is you give them a task. So, ma'am, can you please, all the parents here, can you just go and get a spoon from the kitchen and talk to children? It's okay if child is alone without the adults around. It's not very hygienic, but then it's okay. So you will figure out how to do. Our dependency on technology is inevitable. Today we had a experience. We all were prepared to learn, to teach, to share, but a technical glitch came and we need to live by it. We cannot blame the management, you cannot blame the mentor, you cannot blame the teacher. These all things are part and parcel of our life now. If the electricity is gone, your mobile should be charged, you should have a backup charger. Yes. Despite that, if the current is gone for more than 6 hours, you cannot do but put your hand up. Don't feel guilty about it. At the same time, put your best effort into it. Are we clear on this? We need to revamp our curriculum. What is the meaning of revamp?
Don't know, ma'am.
Thank you for saying that. I love you. I love you a lot. Revamping means redesigning.
Redesigning.
Redesigning. That's right.
Redesigning.
Absolutely right. Redesigning. Till yesterday, if I'm teaching tall and short concept in the class, I get 5 children in the front of the class. I make the one who is short first and the tall last. And then I do, this is short and this is tall. Can I do that in my virtual class? I can't. I need to redesign. I need to work again. Now I need to think of things. This is a remote. Can you see the remote? What is the color of the remote? Can somebody answer?
Blue.
Very
Blue.
good. Now I'm going to show you something and you're going to tell me what is that? What is this?
Water bottle.
Yes. Now here is a remote and here is a bottle. Ideally, I would prefer 2 same items, but right now I don't have something around. So which one is tall?
Water bottle.
Water bottle.
Very good. Now, if I show you only the remote and ask you which is tall, can you answer?
No comparison.
No.
You need to bring 2 things. Now, all these things will go in your revamping. You will think about it, that this was a concept that I used to teach in this manner. Now, how do I teach in the class? Right? I request again everybody to go on mute, please. There are background sounds that are coming and your colleagues will get disturbed. Right. So let's move ahead and understand how can we help the school management to do this as teachers' role. Now I come back to the question, what is the advantage that you have as a teacher, what is your duty as a teacher is to revamp the curriculum, new strategies for delivering the concept. I'm sure you have learned. How many of you learned how to operate, got your email ID in March 2020 activated? How many of you learned Zoom platform in 2020, April? How many of you learned about what is called whiteboard on Zoom?
Me, ma'am.
Are you getting my point? We upgraded ourselves. And give a pet to yourself. I actually want you to do, everybody. Do that. You know what? You are awesome. Without any actual training, you guys have trained yourself. People go to IIT to learn things. We have learned it just for our babies in the class. So new strategies of delivering, revisiting classroom management skills, upgrading with the latest tools, and finally training and counseling parents as well. That, ma'am, if you have one mobile, how are you going to be helping your child and stuff like that? Now let's look at what is teacher's role and must include checklist. I'm giving you this checklist. You can write it down and you can check before the session begins that have you done this with your children. So brain break are the part of the session. What is the meaning of brain break? Breaking the brain. So you have to take a hammer and tuck, tuck, tuck. Is that brain break?
No. Brain exercises, planning of the brain exercises.
Small exercises which stimulate the brain.
Very good. Did you understand? I did one exercise with you.
Showing your hands up.
Right. Recently, Abhi, 10 minutes back, I told all of you to unmute. Yes. That made me feel good. At the same time, you all got excited, unmuted and said, and you know what? When we say something nice, we smile. Can you say, I love you, Sonal ma'am? You know what? While saying it, you were smiling, and that gave your brain a little rest. It was that simple. You can make your children participate with you, make it interactive. I have 100 babies today. I can make it interactive. Why can't you with 20 babies? They want to be in your best book. They are not judging you. They want to be your pet. They want to be called by name. You know, when I'm saying Ranjita ma'am or I'm saying Sabita ma'am, how good you're feeling? Tell me honestly. Sabita ma'am is wearing such a beautiful navy blue and red outfit. See the smile on her face. Now all these 20 children can be addressed in my class. And how will they feel? It is really important to think about what all can we do. And today we are going to talk about it in the later part of the day about that also. Is your communication interactive? Are you circulating positive and fun time? After your class, is child happy? Or is child, today teacher didn't say anything nice? Today teacher didn't do anything interesting. It was so boring. Is your session, I'm not saying you're an entertainer. I'm not saying you're a clown, but at the same time, stimulate them. Give them something nice to say. You know, the class that we have started, my children in Prep 2 are always on unmute. They make sure that there's no background sound. If there's a background sound, they promptly mute. We take 1.5 hour session with children unmuted, and according to me, that's an achievement, and it didn't happen overnight. It took 2 to 3 months to train my babies, but it is doable. Every session, we tell the child to tell one line, new line every week, depending on the age. In nursery, 1 week, in Prep 1, 3 days, and in Prep 2, every day. One line that you tell everybody. So after a session, they are supposed to go hug the parent and say, you're the best. Or they are supposed to say, I love you. Or they are supposed to say, I love doing homework. Or they are supposed to say, I love to eat carrot. Isn't that a simple task? But when you make it a rule, you know what child feels? You have grabbed their attention, you have retained the information, you have given them chance to reproduce, and that has motivated them because of the result. Are you with me? Are you getting what I'm trying to say here? Make sure that you are building expectations from them. Don't think, chote bacche, they can't do anything. Please don't underestimate the power of a common child. They can do wonders. Once a week, organize a dance party. Yes, I'm saying once a week. If somebody's birthday, first class, or else have 10 minutes dance party where you're playing a music like Freeze or some known tune. You don't need to play Sheila Ki Jawani kind of songs or Bidi Jalaile. Play some musical songs from, you have so many beautiful characters, Dora songs or Frozen songs. Play those songs and suddenly stop and freeze. There's so many activities that we can do in the second part of the session. I'm very excited about. We're going to learn them. Now, this is a scenario you are in. Am I right? This is how your classroom looks. Now, this is what you are doing. Do you have an ability to make it productive? Can you make it productive? How do you make it productive? The class needs to have at least 5 points which are essential. They are called SMART essential rules. If you remember, when we began the session, I gave some essential rules. Everybody on mute, raise your hand. I will call out you by your name. You have got time with children. Develop it over a period of time with these children. Now, what does SMART mean? Specific to that class, nursery class, Prep 1 class, Prep 2 class, specific, meaningful. Don't do it just because not to run around the class. Now, that will not apply here. Let them run around in the house. It's absolutely okay. They're listening. Achievable. Have your rules which are achievable, doable. Be relevant. Have relevant goals. And finally, they should be tailor-made for your class of 25. You know, something can work in your class which will not work in others' class. Because your way of teaching is different than them. You call your babies like darling, honey, other teachers don't. So you can have a rule when I say, hello, darlings. They can answer, hello teacher. Shall we try that? So I'm going to say out few names. Please unmute yourself. Okay, Afreen ma'am, Sabita ma'am, Roja ma'am, Radha Rani ma'am, and Annie ma'am. Unmute yourself. Okay. So now the rule is I'm going to say hello babies and you have to say hello teacher. Deal? Can you do that for me? Right.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
the trick over here is the way I say, that's the way you answer. Okay. Hello babies.
Hello, teachers. Hello, teacher.
Hello babies.
Hello, teacher.
Hello babies.
Hello, teacher. Hello, teacher.
Now, thank you so much. Go back to your mute element. Now, what I just did is, now all of you are smiling. All of you are smiling, number one. You felt being part of it. Now, these kind of activities are very important. These are called classroom conditioning activities. Please develop one of them. You can come up with anything. Okay, and if you do that well with your children, see what beautiful connect you will have with them when they are getting restless, when they are running from here and there, when they are yawning, suddenly get into hello babies and they'll say hello teacher by default. Right now, what are you going to do with this smart essential rule? You can take a screenshot of this particular slide. These are the kind of 9 rules that you can have with your children. Find your quiet spot at home. Be prepared with the material you will be needing. How to mute and unmute. How to put video on and off. Preferably be on unmute and video on. Be on time. Raise your hand. Make sure that you're waiting for your turn to speak. Eat before or after the class. Listen and look. Do your best in every task. If these are the rules in your class, you will be able to achieve more. Are they doable? Has anybody established this kind of rules in their class? At least one of them, 2 of them.
Yes, ma'am. Last year we have did.
Fantastic. Very good. I hope you have some additional point here which you are going to establish now, right? So this is what I want you to think about and do more. Okay, let's move ahead and understand as a teacher, what are your advantages because of the virtual class? Child is at home, so you don't have to worry about their dabba, their water bottle, whether they have finished their container or no, which I never understood why that is a job of a pre-primary teacher. But to be really honest, the parent used to come and first talk about the dabba. Madam, chudu, khana khaya ki nahi dekh lena aap. Am I right? And I used to always wonder why it is like that. And the dabba used to be... Pardon?
घर में नहीं खाता, स्कूल में ही खाता.
That's right, Nanda ma'am. And we as a teacher wanted to teach so more, and we were, busy feeding the baby instead of that. So now the advantage is child is at home. We are not spending on our travel time. The parents have become partners and they understand how difficult it is to deal with 20 children at a time when they can't deal with 2 of them. And finally, support of technology. Now, what are the disadvantages due to virtual class? Can somebody tell me disadvantages for a teacher due to virtual class? Surprise, surprise, child is at home. So there is a TV going on. There is papa on the phone. There is mom, sibling who is dancing there. So the advantage that you have is also disadvantage. Electricity, internet, and gadget dependence. Your child needs a mobile or a laptop for their online class. Wi-Fi at home is used and it's slow. Parents are looking at you and watching over you. What to do now? And technical glitches. I don't know how to log in. I don't know how to log out. Oh my God, I don't know what happened now. That hyper. So these are the problems that we face. As a teacher, the skills that you need to be knowledgeable about the apps and tools. I'm going to introduce you to some of them now. You need to be passionate about your lesson planning. When you give classwork, homework, interaction, your passion has to come through. You can't be teaching. So children, today we are going to learn about something. I will tell you about it. You know apple, no? Everybody knows apple. Tinle ippude apple. Enti cheppu, yes cheppu. If this is your attitude in the class, child is not going to be motivated. The apple has to be as if, you know, it's a Kohinoor. Present things with lot of passion to a child. Be enthusiastic in general. Be proactive. If you see child is absent, take up a call or WhatsApp chat with a parent that I hope all is well, ma'am. Child is being missed by me. I miss my baby not in the class. You know, that personal touch makes lots of difference to a parent and the child. Be creative with your resources and delivering the concept. So for effective classroom management, according to me, these 12 tasks should be must done by you. I want you to take a screenshot. I'm not going to read each one of them, but definitely if you don't understand any one of that, please ask me. Birthday here means any celebration. Festival celebrations or okay. Do you understand every aspect? Now tell me what is the meaning of guest. If you don't ask me question,
Someone excited.
Pardon?
We can, ma'am, we can ask any parent only to take any session, ma'am. We can invite the parent as a guest.
Superb, Sabita ma'am.
We have did it last year, ma'am.
Very good. For an example, when I'm doing community helper especially, I can dress up somebody as a farmer and bring them into the class, or I can invite a barber, baker. I can ask a parent who's a doctor, lawyer, accountant to come and talk to the class, maybe riddle it out, maybe show the tools that they are using and say, guess who am I? If this is a tool that I use, how many children know what is this? If I'm using this tool, anybody knows what is this?
Thermometer.
So what do we use it for? Writing, for drawing? You're working with children here. Are you with me very clearly?
Yes,
So guest can be a real interesting EVS concept taken here. Thank you. Now I want you to again take a screenshot here. This is my giveaway, 7 amazing free website where you can interest children to play with you or do things with you. I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to teach you one of this. You can explore the others. So I'm going to go to the autodraw.com thinking that you might not know about it. Autodraw.com. So I'm going to stop sharing and take you to Autodraw. So I hope you have taken a screenshot, or else one of you who has taken, circulate in your WhatsApp group. So how do you do autodraw.com? How much money you have to pay to get it done? It's a free app on Google. You don't have to pay a pie to, you know, use it, but it's one of the best app that you can use as a teacher or to make life interesting for the children. Now, what does Autodraw do for you? I'm just trying to share the link. Oh, sorry, the board, my screen. And I hope it is going to help you. So if you are on your desktop, you can try it along with me. So just type Autodraw and you will get autodraw.com. Can you see it here? Right. Click on that and it will lead you to a site like this. So I'm going to clear it because I have already used it. It's so simple. Now I request Sabita ma'am and any ma'am to unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as a teacher, you might want to make a worksheet or you want children to draw something. Now, we are not MF Hussain or Picasso's, right? We don't need to be very good with drawing. Autodraw is an app which will help us like that. So, name any object or anything that you want to draw in your worksheet or for a class. Apple.
Umbrella.
Umbrella. Okay. So, now watch me draw it. Now, I'm absolutely horrible at drawing. And see what I'm getting here. Can you see these options coming up?
Yes.
Yes.
What kind of umbrella do you need? You can select. Are you getting me very well now? Let's try
Yes,
one
yeah,
more
got it,
object. Savita ma'am, you can take a call. What do you want me to draw?
I want to draw ice cream.
Ice cream.
But
So
I'm a very poor at drawing.
right. So I'm going to be drawing an ice cream. I don't know how this is happening. Somebody is trying to draw it. Please stop drawing it.
Ma'am, I have drawn, ma'am, on the screen.
Yeah, please remove it, Jana.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now this bad I drew, and still this is nothing like ice cream, but AutoDraw is so smart that it is giving me options. Amazing. Now suppose you want to fill in the color.
That's so good.
You can fill in the colors. You can select the colors and fill in the colors you want. I wish we had more time and I can teach you many more apps like this. It's just never ending exploring. Now this is my ice cream done. I take a screenshot of it, or I copy it, and I can just take it to my worksheet and I can go and use it. Copy it and put it in my worksheet and I'm ready. Can I give this activity to children? Totally yes. Was that interesting?
Amazing. Very good.
Yes,
amazing.
Yes. I want you to
helpful.
I want you to take each one of these websites, take your time with it and explore, and I promise you your classroom will be damn interesting. FunBrain, PBS are the games that for every concept till the class 3, they have a game around it. Say it multiplication, addition, numbers, sound, letter, family words, sentence formation, and you have everything around it. Academics is also like that. AutoDraw I showed you. Tour Creator is very interesting. You can take children on a tour to England, to Rome, and again, everything for free. Okay. Mystery Animal. Actually, I love playing this with my daughter, who is now 16-year-old, but still we enjoy. So here, animal will talk to you. Hi, I'm an animal. I love to swim. And then you ask question to animal. Do you like to be in the cold weather? Animal say, no, not at all. Are you able to fit in the bowl? Yes. Now, which animal is this? And then child can play and say fish. Are you understanding? So it's a lot of interactive things that are available. Try and figure out how can you fit it in your class. Again, don't pay any money for any app because there are a lot of free apps. If you don't find, email it to me and I will guide you. So these are the technological use you can do. As a teacher, you need to be responsible, friends. You have to be accountable, accessible, adaptable, and answerable for everything that is happening in the school, in the class, with the children. Be very careful with them. If the child is not learning, it's not entirely your fault, I agree, but you are responsible. Take an account. It's okay. Even if it's not your fault, it's okay to take an responsibility about it, because that will make your lesson plan more interesting. Do you agree? Are you responsible? Can I have some hands up or a thumbs up? Thank you. Very good. Every day during the class, you need to play for 5 minutes with my babies. Simple game like sit down, stand up, nod your head, blink your eyes, touch your nose, smile. I mean, that makes children so happy. Multisensorial activities, WAC, approach, interaction. Understood very well?
What is WAC approach, ma'am?
I was waiting for the question. That's why I didn't describe. That means somebody is listening to me. WAC approach. Every class has different learners. They learn in a different manner. There's a beautiful Chinese proverb which says, I hear, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I learn. I'm sure as a teacher, you have included a lot of activities in the class like that. V for visual, A for auditory, K for kinesthetic. V for visual. Children look at things For an example, I'm saying mouse. Everybody knows what is mouse. But if I bring mouse in the class, isn't that more fun? Look at my tiny little mouse with a long, long tail. And look at his mustache. Oh my gosh, a big, big mustache. Now, child immediately will start smiling and more attracted. The child who had ran off and here comes running. What is she doing? Are you with me? This is visual, auditory, kinesthetic approach. Auditory is your video is off and you're saying, children, mouse is an animal which runs around the house and the road. It is called rodent. How many children will actually be interested in that class? Auditory, visual, and kinesthetic are all important approaches that you need to have in your class because some of the learners need to see, hear, and do. You remember there used to be an advertisement of Cadbury balls, laddu futa, or ek laddu futa, and they give you visual. How beautiful was that? That is exactly what is WAC approach. Are we good? Thank you, Annie ma'am, for asking. I want all of you to clap for Annie ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's go ahead and set up a routine for my children because parents unfortunately are not setting up any routine. They sleep late watching Netflix. They make children also wake up late. There is no routine, and routine is most important part. As one of my learned friend here said, we are giving habits to children in first 6 years. These are habit formation years. It is very essential for us to set up a routine, have timetable, not too many surprises. Inform them beforehand if you are giving them some kind of surprises. Any change is expected. Give them a prior knowledge. Take them on virtual trips. What kind of trips would you like to take them on? When they were in the school, did you take them on a field trip? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take them on a field trip?
Yes, no, ma'am, not a physical, but a virtual we can take, ma'am.
Right. So I'm giving you a link in the chat box. Just check your chat box and copy it on your desktop, the link. Here you will get lots of field trips for pre-primary. Just click on it. See which one fixes in your lesson plan where, and you can just take them on a field trip. Before you even plan, first do lot of homework, check for your children, is it all right to watch, all right to visit. There are a lot of safaris that you can take children on, animal safaris. There are lots of options given. This chat, in the chat box I have given, kindly copy it and paste it somewhere safe that you can do this homework little later. I hope all of you have read in the chat box. Can I go ahead? Let's move ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Overcome the hurdles. Overcome the hurdles. Work on your speaking skills. It is G for giraffe and not giraffe. It's L for lion, not lion. It is not letter H. It is H. How do you learn these things? You can go to Google and ask. I'm typing a website here. How do you say .com, not Kim? How do you say .com? Any word that you don't know the pronunciation, you can just type and it will tell you how to speak that. Practice, my dear friends. Unless you practice, you will not improve. I will confess here that I am from a vernacular medium. I studied till 10th standard in a pure vernacular system. In class 5, I learned ABCD. The only reason I'm able to express in this foreign language called English is because of the books that you see behind me. I am avid reader. Every day I have to read. Plus, I am not, shy to speak wrong. I learned Telugu as a foreign language. I speak Telugu. And before I speak Telugu, I say, Naku Telugu Radu. Elaga matladali naku telidu. So that even if I murder the grammar, nobody will hang me. But I speak. There is no harm in learning a language. Making mistake is not a problem. Repeating mistake is a problem. Be creative with your resources. upgrade your technical knowledge. I'm sure after today's session, you will be much better with your technical knowledge as well. UPR, unconditional positive regards, because you have no clue how my child is suffering today. They haven't played outdoor. They have not ran. What about that energy? That 4 idli that they had for breakfast, where is that carbohydrate? You know that thoos ke they are given that milk and cheese, but they are not allowed to jump around the house. How do they feel? Frustrated, fatigue, pent up energies. They have no peer interaction, as you rightly said in the beginning of the session. Maybe they are the soft target at home. The father has lost the job. The mother is having financial issue. And maybe they are the soft target of all this. Be very, very considerate to the parent and the child. I know we all are in the same boat. But as a teacher, you need to be going that extra mile. They are not school ready. You know, especially children in nursery and prep 1 has missed those foundation years. They have missed that going to school, taking a new bag, taking a new compass box, coming with a lunch box. Oh my God, those feeling that mothers were hanging on the gate. What is my child doing? All that phase is missed by the child to feel that my mother loves me. And there's a new character called teacher in my life who loves me too. We don't know their journey, my friends. Unconditional positive regard means you respect people on their face value, despite their age, caste, creed, socio-economic background, the job they do. You treat them as a human. Every human being is beautiful and created by heaven above. You have no reason to judge them. You have no clue what they go through, right? Reinforcement. I want you to click this slide. This is one of the most important in online classroom management. 5:1 ratio of positive to negative. What do I mean by that? There are 100 teachers here. Only 1 or 2 are going unmute by mistake. And the background sound is disturbing. But when I'm saying in between, can you mute? I'm breaking the rhythm of the class. I can afford it because I'm dealing with adults here. But you know, you can't afford it. If children are making sound, you need to learn to ignore a little, rather pay on the attention who are doing right. Talk about 5 good things that are happening. Suppose you see that Samir is running around the house and not sitting in front of the camera. Don't say, Samir, where are you gone? Now there are 19 other children who are in front of the camera. They will understand, Acha, Samir nahi hai. Samir kidhar gaya? They will check on the Zoom. And they say, Acha, if Samir can run, why can't I? Then ma'am will tell my name also. Instead of that, tell, see how Aditi is sitting nicely today. Samir, I want you to say hi to Aditi. So simple. Now Samir will say, Mera naam kyun aaya? Come and say, hi Aditi. Your objective of getting Samir in the place is taken care. 5:1. One of the real important thing. Positive outcome expectation. I know my children love me. I don't know how many of you said I love you, Sonal ma'am, but I know you love me. I believe in it, and I know you're saying it whether you're mute or unmute. I believe in it. Out of 100, even if 50 says, I'm okay. Even 5 says, I'm okay because I'm a teacher. And even if 5 people I can educate, I'm happy. Now that should be your expectation from your class. Grasp tools. How to grasp the attention. Make them part of the task. You're teaching color. Suppose you have taught yellow color to them. And you want yellow color to be reinforced to them. You make it into an activity. I'm going to count 3 very slowly. Fruit counting 3. Backward counting 3. That means I will name 3 fruits, one after the other, 3, 2, and 1. You all have to run around and get one yellow object around your house. Is that understood, children? I'm going to count downward counting 3, and you will go run and get an object which is yellow in color. 3, orange. Everybody get up and look for yellow object. You are my babies today. All 100 of you. I want you to run around. 3, orange. 2, apple. And 1, watermelon. Can I see the objects? The yellow ones? Oh, how lovely are these?
Yellow rubber band.
Superb. Teacher has got a yellow pillow. And what is any ma'am got? Yellow bottle. What Sabita ma'am got? Yellow rubber band. Now I can make one
Yellow
of
color
them.
slate.
Very good. A clap for yourselves. Now all of you,
Yellow
you know,
color,
the energy
color
change.
pencil.
Energy change. Now you can make them into unmute and let them talk about the object that they've got. Other children are excited who couldn't find yellow will go, Mommy, I didn't find yellow. Mummy will help. No problem. Let Mummy help. You know that Mummy knows yellow color now. Thank God. It's okay. Breathe. At least child is reinforced with the knowledge. Invent simple but fun activities. Very important, my dear friends. Very, very important. So let's move ahead. Any question in this slide? As you have not asked the question is what is the meaning of grasp tools, which I have given different color and they are in capital. Now I fooled you by saying grasp their attention, right? G-R-A-S-P, write it in your book, G-R-A-S-P. G for games, R for rhymes, A for activities, S for stories, S for stories, and P for puppetry. P for puppetry. I'm going to repeat what I'm saying. G for game, R for rhyme, A for activities, S for story, and P for puppetry. If you start your class with one of these activity, the attention of the child is going to be yours. Koel ma'am has typed for you in the chat box. If you have missed any, you can check and write. This is how you grab the attention, retain it, recapitulate it, and motivate them. Let's move ahead. Compassion. Be emotionally intelligent, my friend. Be an adult. Understand their expression, tones, and body language. Go an extra mile. I'm looking forward. Sirish sir and Radhika ma'am are planning for a few more sessions for you if you want about psychology theories and other concepts. Being emotionally intelligent and how to be emotionally intelligent or how to develop communication skill. There are awesome theories on it and we can learn together and train ourselves. So let's move ahead and look at enthusiasm. E for enthusiasm. Passion is contagious. Spending one-on-one time is very important with children, parent at times. Writing their anecdote on daily basis. Inquiring about well-being of theirs. Collecting assignments regularly. This is how you're going to make sure the child feels you are connected with them. These are your online management tools. I hope you are making a mention of this. Being enthusiastic is a must do. You can't be, today we are going to be learning. That's no class. Imagine I'm teaching you like that. Would you like to learn from me? Definitely no. You need to be focused, my dear friends. Focus on their learning. Focus on the child. Focus on delivering the concept to focus on the impact that you are making. It's really important how focused you are on every lesson plan that you are going to be addressing. I hope you are writing these points or taking a screenshot. Understanding of your own self, your needs, understanding the growing child, understanding parents' perception and others around them. Friends, it is a difficult task, especially pandemic has put us 10 steps behind in education. But this is a time to build up a rapport with the family, to call your relatives, friends, and ask for their well-being, to talk to the parent who are not doing well, talk to the child who is feeling very, very neglected or very hyper. This is a time to be a little more than who you are. Love quotient. A psychology says Give love to a child when he doesn't deserve. I repeat what I'm saying. Give love to a child when he doesn't deserve. According to you, child has done some naughty thing and doesn't deserve your love. That's the time he needs more love. Just think about us. When we make a mistake, we feel guilty. At the time somebody comes and says, I told you don't do it, you like it. Or somebody gives you a hug and says, it's okay. I know next time you won't do it. What would you prefer? Deepika ma'am, what would you prefer?
Yeah, I prefer good rapport and bonding.
Absolutely. We need to pass on that love quotient with genuine concern, realistic expectation, emotional bond, passion, and perseverance. I
Ma'am,
believe in the
have a
power of
doubt.
love.
Ma'am, I have a doubt, but we do like this good rapport and bonding. They want to take advantage, no, ma'am. Repeatedly, they are doing
Why?
same mistakes.
You need to be very firm with your love as well. That's why I say keep a poker face as a teacher. For an example, a child made a mistake. I'm talking about a classroom right now. A child made a mistake. You're not going to be saying that is bad or that is good. You're going to say, I know you're not going to repeat the mistake because I'm going to teach you all over again. And that happens on one-on-one. You're not going to be doing this on in the class, during the class. Take out a little time and work with the child on one-on-one and make him understand this is not going to be repeated. You have to be very firm in your love as well. So being a teacher, we lack resources, but we can't be lacking being resourceful. And that is what I wanted to bring it to you today. You are responsible every day, set up, overcome hurdles, UPR, reinforcement, compassion, enthusiasm, focus, understanding, and love quotient. If you attend this, you are the teacher that child wants. Now tell me, have you achieved spice development, readiness, self-esteem, life skill, future foundation as 21st century teacher teaching the skills? As a teacher, you need to do a partnership with a parent, A to H. Give them assurance, be a team, have a communication, give them direction, be empathetic to them, be fair to them, have a genuine concern, and be honest. You also need to draw a line and create a crease that they don't walk into your personal space. Give them time that every day, 6 to 8, I'm available on my WhatsApp. They cannot call you 24/7. As Deepika ma'am rightly brought it out, they can't take disadvantage. But there's some parent who need counseling. You're not a counselor. Take it to the in charge. They will guide them to a school counselor or a counselor connect will be given. But a mild issues, give a personal touch, right? That can be really helpful. Thank you so much for listening to me and being with me. I hope this has educated you and added in what you already know, what you're already doing, and I have motivated you to do more. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So I would like to know from Radhika ma'am or sir, what is the timing that we are deciding for the next session after the break?
First of all, thank you so much, Sonal ma'am, for this wonderful session, right? So many points which we know it, right? But still, sometimes it happens so that we don't implement. And I'm sure all the teachers, including me, the points which sometimes even I miss, I don't implement, definitely going to do it. And time flew away. We had hiccups, but still we could do it, right? And we didn't even feel like having a sip of water, not even hungry. Now, as your session ended, right? So let us do one thing. It's 12:22. We'll be back in half an hour. Right?
Ma'am?
Is that fine, teachers, everybody?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Please ask.
One point, lack of attention span. Can you explain me in a few sentences?
Definitely. Thank you for the question, Deepika ma'am. I really appreciate. Attention span in the children is said to be 5 to 15 minutes. Now that is shocking, isn't it? if child is able to pay attention only for 5 to 15 minutes, how am I going to take a class for 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours? But the same child, when they are watching a movie, how long is the attention span? When they are playing with their blocks or they are playing with a friend, how long is the attention span? So the attention span definition changes with their stimulation of brain. It is in hand of a teacher how many multisensorial activity or WAC approach that you are inculcating in your classroom, that child is coming back to you. He gets distracted very easily. He's looking at somebody doing something, but what are you doing to get him back? So how are you going to utilize this lack of attention idea? Because wherever he's paying attention, there also he has lack of attention. You can bring him back to you. Yeah, I hope I've answered, Deepika ma'am.
Sonal ma'am, is it okay? Can we come back by 1 o'clock?
Absolutely fine by me.
Okay, okay. Then I think this session is done. We'll wind it up and we'll sharply join by 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock session. Be very comfortable in your comfortable clothes. Be ready to run around and do things because it's going to be interactive and kinesthetic session. Keep things around the house. I'm going to ask you and fetch 100 of things around the house. So tell your house members that I'm going to be running also. Okay. So be prepared. Looking forward to see you in an exciting session. Thank you so much, Radhika ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonal ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.